Hello everybody, the Solar Recap here, coming back with your weekly dose of anything solar. You might have wondered already why it took me so long to record a new episode for you, and also why I might sound a little different compared to my last episodes. Well, these current affairs, as someone might call it, come from a one single occasion, which was me moving into a new flat a couple days ago. And since I currently don't have a lot of furniture around me, you might hear a little more echo coming from my voice. So I hope this won't affect your attention regarding the soon to be presented news. And yeah, with the hindrances out of the way, let's begin today's episode. As you might know by now, we are beginning with an overall overview of the market, since coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example, have a significant influence on the entire cryptocurrency industry. As you can see here, Bitcoins and others generally went down in price over the last couple of weeks. And while Bitcoin and Ethereum losses are ranging in the 1 to 2% range, so-called altcoins or alternative coins in long form, like Dogecoin, Cardano, Solana, and XRP, suffered at least 3 times the losses over the same time period. Compared to our last episode 2 weeks ago, the entire net worth of the industry went down by about $40 billion or $0.04 trillion, as you can see on the top. A look at SXP gives us a similar picture at the time of writing this. The market capitalization went down by around $28.6 million, and the price per SXP coin went down by around $5. The current 24 hours trading volume is at around $5.8 million, which went down by around $3.2 million compared to the last recap. Here you see a little better overview of the situation, which is certainly not an unusual one, considering that the most valuable assets in the industry went down by quite a bit. But what is nice to see is that the trading volume is constantly in the millions, which is a strong testimony to the strength of the ever-growing ecosystem of solar. Also, in my opinion, you can determine that this current downtrend in price was rather caused by the larger players going down in price, since the positions in valuation on CoinGecko, of SXP of course, hasn't changed by a lot, meaning everyone got hit rather equally by this downturn. Okay, but enough about hitting, let's keep our eyes on the hands that are building, shall we? You certainly remember Heya Ventures, the Korean invest firm that introduced themselves into the ecosystem in the last solar recap. On the 26th of July, they've officially finalized the partnership with the Solar Foundation to help them grow their influence in the East Asian economic powerhouse of a country known to us as South Korea. Both organizations have concluded to strengthen their partnership over the long term and to reach markets even outside of South Korea. One can only be curious about the future between these two entities, and I can't wait to tell you about their reached milestones and achievements in the future. Since there were certainly some open questions regarding the most recent announcement by the community, the Solar Foundation decided to hold an AMA on the 1st of August with none other than CEO Naeem Williams. Since there were a ton of questions asked by the community over that time period, I've decided to show you some of the questions and answers, but not all. If you want to read the entire transcript of the AMA, then you can find the link to it in the description box. The first question was about the general direction of the project over the next 1 to 3 years, and Naeem said that with a community and team of developers and blog producers like ours, he would be aiming to make solar one of the top 50 and maybe even top 20 most valuable cryptocurrency projects in the entire industry, And I couldn't agree more with that, what he said. There's life in almost every corner of the ecosystem, and it just begs to be released into the entirety of the blockchain industry. In the next question, the answer is a little bit more revealing regarding the roadmap of 2023 basically. A new workforce has been acquired for Docto and the Solar Foundation, and especially in the third quarter of the year, we will see products powered by Docto be a lot more spoken about than previously known to us. While Solar Core version 5.0 will very likely be released in quarter 4, many other milestones like the SVM, District 53, the Solar Card, Moon.store and others are being worked on simultaneously. A direct question regarding the current listing situation led to a nicely direct answer by Naeem, I have to say. The Solar Foundation is in deep talks with developers and VCs close to Coinbase's Rosetta technology, which is a must-have to be integrated into this exchange. First though, they want to nail the compatibility with this technology to ensure a possible quick integration, while in the same time teasing another US-based cryptocurrency exchange that is interested in listing Solar. Fun times ahead, I must say. The next question basically confirms what I personally was already expecting to be the case, and that is that teams and companies that are just basically waiting for Solar Core 5.0 to enter testnet so they can dip their toes into the technology of Solar Core and the blockchain, of course, and try to implement their ideas on this blockchain framework. Yeah, this will also most likely give us some very exciting times ahead. The last question in this paragraph here might be especially interesting to the people that want to build something on Solar but might lack a team or a company entity representing and paying them. So, any project that can show up with a well-written white paper, a roadmap, and a clear goal in their minds is welcome to ask for financial and technical support in their endeavor to enlarge the ecosystem that is being built here. And not only the classical developmental projects are being called out here, no, also projects that are like something like events, smaller projects, businesses, entire businesses of course, or like marketing campaigns for Solar itself. All is game as long as it makes sense, is as I would interpret it from Naeem's answer. In the next question, Naeem informs us about the delay that occurred while shipping out the Solar debit cards that was caused by compliance issues. Telling a bank that so-called block rewards and donations made up the entirety of their financial means is something that needs to be double and triple checked by traditional financial institutions. So it obviously makes sense that there were some delays. And while new visits to conventions and conferences in the name of Docto and Solar were on the bucket list for the near future, Naeem briefly talked about the developmental process not being transparent to the community. This is so that the Solar Foundation and its developmental team cannot be preemptively copied by the competition. So, therefore, development mostly takes place in private GitHub depositories, and the team itself will decide which news it will share with the community. A question regarding the functionality and competitiveness of Solar's homemade virtual machine, or in short SVM, was asked by the community over the last couple of days, which is why Naeem referred to a lengthy Telegram post that lists the differences very clearly. A jack of all trades, you might say, once you read through the Telegram message link that Naeem has posted with his answers, so if you want to read it yourselves, you can find it in the description box below. The last part of the AMA was yours, guys and gals, since at that point you were able to ask Naeem questions yourselves. First user, asked about the whitelist of that one Japanese exchange that was teased in the last big blog post about Solar's roadmap and white paper. The last steps of that listing are happening in this very moment, and you can expect news very soon regarding this. I already said in the last episode that Japan is a major financial hub, and any foothold in that market is a great strive forward for the Solar Foundation. While a DEX wasn't really teased, but expected due to our hardworking community members, a relisting of the SXP coin on Kraken was teased as well, as a ramp up of marketing efforts once the Solar debit card has been officially shipped to us. The last questions of you guys were about the compliance issues of the Solar debit card in Korea, which would be swiftly resolved according to Naeem, and about a possible timeline until the Solar Core version 5.0 being released on testnet. Well, due to trying to withhold information from potential competitors, the roadmap that exists for the rollout of Solar Core version 5.0 will not be published by the Solar Foundation to secure a safe and fast working environment for development until publishment. And that concludes everything about Solar throughout the last 2 weeks. A mixture of news from every corner of the ecosystem is brewing regarding the announced timeline of milestone products from the Solar Foundation at Docto, and I think I'm not alone in saying that I'm excited what the brew will taste like once served by Docto and Solar. I am certainly keeping an eye on that for you, so you don't have to. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Feel informed by it or enjoy it by just listening to it. Feel free to leave a like under the video or subscribe to the channel. You can of course also vote for blog producer Sigma. And the Solar recap will likely return in 1 to 2 weeks for the next dose of information for you. Until then, have a good day.